let's go back to the Herbert injury. We talked about it some, but it's something that's going to resonate into the weekend and beyond. And you know how teams are. They're going to keep it close to the vest. They don't want to tip their hand. They don't want the Jaguars, their next opponent, to know with any certainty whether they need to get ready for Justin Herbert or Chase Daniel. Let's have a listen and a look at what was said by Brandon Staley, the coach of the Chargers, after the game to reporters on the Justin Herbert injury.
He's okay. It was a tough game, and you're not going to see a quarterback in any level of football play tougher and do more for their team and will their team to give them a chance than him. There's nobody that can do what he can do. Nobody. He showed a lot of guts. He showed us what he shows every day, that we're never out of the fight, and he brought us back and gave us a chance. It was just a tough NFL game, and he took some big hits. And none of those big hits had any impact on him bringing his team back like he always does.
Okay, look, I pride myself on reading body language and demeanor and the way words are delivered and the way that the entire persona is being projected. There are certain things, and unless you are a Hollywood-level actor, you cannot hide. To me, Peter, that's a guy who is still dealing with the early moments of the realization that he may not have Justin Herbert for a week or two or longer. That's how I read the overall body language of Brandon Staley in that moment.
I don't know how to read his body language other than I don't know what's wrong right now, and so I'm not going to sit here and predict that he might be out for a while. At this point, I don't even know when he met the press if he knew the results of whatever the x-rays were, because there were a couple of tweets last night. I stayed up, Mike, to watch and to listen and to analyze what exactly happened. Justin Herbert emerged from the locker room, according to reporters, about 15 minutes after the game and went down to the x-ray room at Arrowhead Stadium. So by the time Brandon Staley was meeting the press, I sincerely doubt that he could have known whatever the problem is. Maybe the x-rays were inconclusive. Maybe they showed cracked ribs. I don't have any idea, and I doubt that Brandon Staley knew. So I just think when I heard him, I think he was trying to say, I don't know what the story is. We'll see tomorrow when we get back to L.A. and we do an MRI, which I'm sure they're going to do today. But I don't know. I didn't read a lot into it.
Well, when he starts off saying he's okay at a time when he clearly doesn't know that he's okay.
Yeah.
There's some wishful thinking there. And obviously he's not going to make any disclosures until he absolutely positively has to for strategic reasons. But he just struck me as a guy who is bracing for whatever may happen, including the possibility that he's not going to have the best player on his team by far for a game or longer. Can they beat the Jaguars with Chase Daniel? I think they probably can. We haven't seen enough of Chase Daniel during his 35-year NFL career to come to any firm conclusions about what he could do if he's pressed into service. But, we'll just see. This is just going to be one of those things that we're tracking and we're watching, and we're understanding that the Chargers have no obligation to say a word about this to anyone until they issue their practice report next Wednesday. Did he practice? Was he limited? What's the injury? And whether it's rib, whether it's abdomen. Now, I saw a tweet last night from one of the folks covering the Chargers that a team spokesman said Herbert would not be meeting with the media because of a rib injury. Now, I doubt that that is a specific and conclusive diagnosis. We assumed rib, but who knows? Who knows? It could be a muscle strain. It could be an internal organ. One of the first things I thought of, frankly, because I work with the guy 4 days a week, 3 during the season,
spleen.
Chris Sims lost a spleen. It doesn't take much to pop a spleen.
Yeah. You know what I was thinking, Mike, you said it a minute ago. We're probably not going to know a lot about this until next Wednesday. Now, look, maybe the Chargers will make some sort of announcement about what the medical tests reveal, last night and today. Maybe they will. But you're absolutely right. They're under no obligation to say anything until next Wednesday. So this could be like 6 days of, or 5 days of a gigantic mystery that I think no one is really going to know or be able to get to the bottom of until then. But I will just say one thing. Usually when you have torso injuries and you are doing the things that a quarterback has to do, and you saw the one play last night where Justin Herbert was in so much pain that he could have run for a first down. He could have crawled for a first down. And he chose just to throw the ball away because the thought of either sliding, to avoid contact, or the thought of even a mild tackle was so uproariously, painful to him that he just said, I got to get rid of the ball. I just can't do it. I can't take anymore. So I don't think this is nothing. I think this is definitely something, but we'll see.
I agree with you. Look, that grit that had him in the game, all you got to do is take a few more steps and slide, but he's feeling it there. You can see it. He's wincing. He's in noticeable pain. So that I think is
when I saw that, Mike, that said everything. That just said everything. And it also, I totally agree with Staley. Look, part of you as a coach, I'm sure, part of Brandon Staley wanted to say, hey, Chase Daniel, get in there. I can't watch this. This is too painful to watch. But he didn't, and they ended up, making the game very close, throwing a touchdown after and all that. But I just think that what you have to do, the torque you put on your torso when you're throwing a football and you're standing in, I don't care how well padded he's going to be against Jacksonville, I'd be worried about the next couple of weeks for him, but we'll see.
And he still made some great throws, even
he really did.
That discomfort. The throw to Joshua Palmer, the touchdown pass that cut the game to 3 points. I mean, the guy was incredible when it came to throwing the football. And the simple explanation is whatever he was doing to twist his body to throw the football wasn't creating that discomfort. But when he decided to run, that act of running and the promise of whatever was coming next, it just was something that he wasn't going to be able to do. But look at that throw. Good Lord. So this is why he was still in the game. And Peter, let me ask you this. I'm curious about this because the NFL has made a big deal in recent years about having the stadium blanketed with people who have the authority to stop the game and order that players be removed for full and complete concussion evaluation.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.